today I'm going to be giving you guys fairy tale retelling book recommendations. I did this video like a year and a half ago, like when Fairytaleathon first started, and got more recommendation for you guys, and I'm just really excited about it. This is our 4th round of Fairytaleathon, which I'll link the announcement video down below. So I have 7 more fairy tale retellings book recommendations to you guys, and also we and not only we include fairy tale retellings in general in our Fairytaleathon, we are also including, yeah, we do count mythologies retellings and legend retellings that are based on different legends like King Arthur and etc. So let's get to the book recommendations that I have for you today. So I have 3 Little Mermaid retellings for you guys. The first one is Sea Witch by Sarah Henning, which is one of my favorite books of all time. I just read the sequel in December, and I love the duology, and it's worth reading. This was our first group book for Fairytaleathon, so I definitely recommend to you guys, because this is a origin story to the Sea Witch from the original Little Mermaid, and the sequel is obviously about the events of the original Little Mermaid story, and this is really worth reading, and I cried when I first read this, and I probably will cry again when I read it. Again, this is definitely worth the read. And the next Little Mermaid retelling that I have for you guys is Poor Unfortunate Souls by Serena Valentino, which is the origin story of Ursula herself. I have other Disney Balance books in the series, and you don't have to read these in order because I've read them out of order, so it wouldn't matter anyway. And this is all about Ursula herself. This is another one to read, especially if you're looking for shorter reads for a readathon, especially this one. And the last Little Mermaid retelling that I have for you today is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This is involved with sirens. The main character, Lyra, has been punished by her mother because they wanted the heart of the prince, and she failed to do so, and she's punished, and she has to kill the prince. So it's definitely, I really enjoy this. It's definitely another Little Mermaid retelling that I really recommend. And I have 2 Peter Pan retelling for you guys, and Peter Pan does count as a fairy tale because I've done a fairy tale retelling story in my storytelling class, so I've asked my teacher, and she said it counts. So the first one I recommend to you guys is Everland by Wendy Spinelli, which is the very first Peter Pan retelling that I read, and I love. Actually, it's not the first Peter Pan retelling that I've read, but it is one of my favorite trilogies of all time, and it's another one that's worth reading, where this one is a steampunk retelling of Peter Pan, where there's a disease that's going around, and they're going after kids because they're the ones that stay alive. So this is also really worth reading for anytime in general. And the last Peter Pan retelling I'm recommending to you guys is the Neverland Wars by Audrey Greathouse. This is a very interesting Peter Pan retelling that I've ever read, which is about how Peter Pan is a real person, and they break into, and I don't want to say break into people's houses, but the parents literally lock their doors so their kids don't run away with him, and there's war going on between Neverland and the real world. And I have not read the last book, but it's a really good trilogy so far that I've read, and I really need to read the last one, but this is a really good one to read, and this is a very underrated Peter Pan retelling that I've read, and I do recommend to people who are looking for another Peter Pan retelling. The next fairy tale retelling that I'll recommend to you guys is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kramer. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling that I love very much, as much as other Beauty and the Beast retellings that I've read. This is definitely one of the ones that I liked because it follows a girl who's been transported from the real world to the magical world, and I love that. Also, the main character has a mental illness representation, and I really enjoy that, and that's what makes me like the story more, not just because it reminds me of my my favorite fairy tale of all time, but I'm just liking how it has a lot of representation on people, not just people without a mental illness or disabilities, and that's what I really love about this book. And this was a group book from Fairytaleathon Round 2, which was definitely one of the tough ones that I have, but this one is definitely one of my favorite fairy tale retellings. I know sequel just came out this year, and I really want to, and I definitely think people should read this. And the last fairy tale retelling I have for you guys is The Forbidden Wish by Jessica Corey. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. But this is a Aladdin and a Magical Lamp retelling, and I really enjoy that. And of course, you guys know that this is a Aladdin retelling, like I mentioned before. And the interesting part about this one is there's a forbidden wish that that you're not supposed to wish at all, and the story goes from there, from the title. And I do have a trigger warning for attempt rape in this book, but this is definitely worth a read when you're looking for another fairy tale retelling that is not like traditionally in Europe, or like just if you like Aladdin in general. This is definitely the ones that I definitely really enjoyed, other than that one saying in the book. So that's all for my fairy tale retelling book recommendations. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below what fairy tale retelling books that you would recommend to me. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and click that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. I post new videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all the links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!